all this attack on women's rights and women's movement, I adore women. And as a highly sensitive man, I tended to have men that were gay. I'm not gay, but I'm not comfortable talking to them because they're not got this simple of defending their super armor as men. You know, this attitude that men, this fake alpha male, doesn't seem to be cut mustard anymore. I've always been sensitive, a bit reclusive, but I had to come out of myself. I hear a lot of things, and I studied Dr. Galvo myth and normal. I don't think you can make blanket statements on people. At age 68, I've had to come out of myself to survive. So I've been studying a lot. I'm a Reiki grandmaster. Things offend me sometimes. I just can't take them with it. Like Sade Guru, I'm a Reiki master, and that's my tradition. And I don't put down any tradition, but why should these people come out and be skeptics? It bothers me. So I turn them off. I do get upset. These are problems with me. But journaling and writing things down and spiritually developing is a part of my plan in life. I'm going to Australia and teach Reiki. But I keep on asking, how can I serve? Everybody says this all the time. Take care of yourself. It doesn't make it. Because there's times I need to have help, and I couldn't get it except for the professionals, they call them, that were abusive with their pharmaceutical solutions. Anybody that's sensitive is bipolar or everything. I find that a lot. People that have had emotional trauma. I consider myself spiritually gifted, but I don't think I'm better than anybody. I don't want to be better. I think we are all basically got these intrinsic parts of us, but we were conditioned by a world of men. And I hear a lot of talk that women are reciting into an apathy of not finding being a woman a power, an emotional power, because you have this sensitive nature of nurture. Well, let's talk about nurture. Nomadic herds people, men, were nurturers. I'm a horseman, so that makes me a little softer. I nurture animals. Men can be sensitive. There's things that mold us into this world of nurture. And my love for horses was one of it. And learning to love. Because I felt things very deeply. And I hear these words like men want respect. Not me. You know, there's a lot of people I admire in the world, and I don't respect them. I love them. Because I meditated on it. Like, respect our police and our military. No, I love you. I don't mean gay. I mean, I have to go to the definitive, infinite number of love that goes beyond that respect. It's a limiting thing. Self-esteem, I have to go to self-compassion. So I tried to work on empathy because I heard other people in the psychotherapy field say, I can't do it anymore. Being empathy, I get empathy burnout. Well, you have to be soft to be hard. So I learned the Ho'oponopono technique of clearing the path and saying, I'm sorry, and using emotional tapping techniques. You can do this. with your clients. You'll develop a methodology. You have to have empathy. I don't think that's the whole problem, the whole system now. We're hearing this empathy burnout and saying it's wrong to be empathic. It's wrong to be kind. It's a weakness. No. Developing emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence with the intellectual intelligence is the unity of the three major energies of intelligence. Just to be intelligence is intellect, makes you ruthless. And the beauty of being intelligent, emotionally intelligent, like they always say, you have a spiritual discernment with Jesus or God, but you could be anybody. You don't have to have any tie to any spiritual or religious indoctrination. Napoleon Hill talked about this. He said, a scoundrel is a person that goes out and runs down another man. And Napoleon Hill was facing scoundrels. I like Napoleon Hill and I like Dale Carnegie. These are great men. And they're just racing out books that were taught in business. So how do you become a sensitive man and a powerful man in business? Or a powerful woman in business? There's a lot of powerful women that have got a sensitivity. And I don't think you're right to say that women can't lead in things. Dalai Lama's quote was, "A Western woman will save the earth." I believe that. I really believe a woman needs to lead now. The masculine energy is just so non-nurture. Nomadic herdsmen were nurturers. Horsemen were nurturers. Of a non-dominant species called the equus. The knights, and Linda Kohano's book, The Power of the Herd, was one of the books that really influenced me of this nature of herdsmanship. And she wrote another book, 5 Stages to Master Herdsmanship. She really was a maverick in psychology of this nurture energy of animals, and they're herbivores. Well, that's what a woman is. She's an earth angel. She's a nurturer. And I think that's apathy. Going and saying, well, us women can't lead. I've never heard such nonsense. You lead children. Women are struggling. Yeah, they do struggle alone. I like Teal Swan. I really like her for what she does for leadership for women and a spiritual balance. Some people don't like her. I like her. I really like Teal for being a woman supporter. Women need some leadership. And all I see now is this. I had a wife like that. She was always running down other sisterhood of women. We need a sisterhood, a kinder planet. You are a feminine energy. You have to unite and really, really question about following husbands that are so. I've seen it. You follow husbands that are just so businesslike and so toxic. And then I see you homeless with divorce. I've examined this. Yeah, turn my phone off. It's playing music, but why Are we women shut? Why are women shutting down? I'm not a woman, I'm a man. And I'm glad to be a man. But it's been tough to be sensitive. But I'm meeting these younger men. They're very soft and kind, and they just want to help people. And tend to burn out. They tend to go into depression. Oh, there's a lot of young men with depression. And there's a lot of young men that'll stand up if a girl getting raped and take the stab wounds too. There's a lot of good young men. This society of social media, it just seems all these men on here are misogynists and haters, and you're residing to feminine. You're surrendering to something that isn't really real. It's not real, girls, ladies. It's not real. There's a lot of kind young men out there, and very handsome, attractive, but they don't go around being offensive. And you'll meet them, but I'm surprised at how many young men I talk to that are very empathic and sensitive. They do burn out. They can't grasp the world of how people are so shut down. They are empathic, sensitive men. So they're sort of what a woman wants, but they want somebody to stand up for them. Now I understand that. They want security because I was awfully weak, and I had girls say, "I like you, but I don't want you. Don't stand up for anything." So I listened to that humbly. Yeah, I'd just let people walk all over me because I was a sensitive. Like why, I was out on a date. She said, the soup's cold, Greg. You can't accept that soup." Well, it's not a problem. I don't want to cause trouble. And she showed me. She said, "Sir, come over here. The soup's cold. Could you warm it up, please?" That's all she needed to show me. But I thought it was a conflict. And that's the way I like dating women and learning from them. And then they say, "Can I go on a date with you?" No, no. I think you're weak. So do I get mad? She was a teacher. She was a teacher teaching me humility, that I need to be more masculine in certain areas of my life. So I am a sensitive guy. And I don't like conflict, but I've been facing conflicts. And I've been learning to stand up for myself because I got no one in my life now and my family's died. So I'm right out there like a herd horse. But I hear this all the time. Just look after yourself. This is something I really can't get. Those who help themselves help themselves. But my philosophy is I don't see separateness in people. I'll help you. And I'll surrender like women do, that the husband will love them if they love them. And that surrender is starting to get out of the picture now. I met a young woman I'm in love with, and she's surrendering like that. She's a Filipino. Yeah, I had her try and I fall in love with her. She's gorgeous. And she's so kind to me. And she doesn't want anything from me except me. And wants to look after me. She's gorgeous. She's just beyond what I am. And I think other women could be like the Filipinos. But I got to the point when I was looking for Filipino. I met a lot that were struggling with children. And they just said, "I really just on here to get help." So I think it's up to women to help women in the Philippines. They've had typhoons, they're homeless, their houses are knocked down. And it's funny, it's synchronicity. I was down in the park there, and they're all Filipino young men. They're really nice. And they're so grateful for being in Canada. The other guys around here, life's rotten as hell. I've heard that everywhere I go. I hate this town. And then this town, I hate this town. Because you're always looking for something better. There's good and there's a silver lining in every place you go. There's a lot of things I don't like in Collingwood, but there's a lot of good people here. So I started writing articles about the past, and people really liked it. So we influence our reality. And we can be soft and gentle. It won't hurt you. You know, and if I have to get into something soft and cuddly, get a teddy bear. But I put on Dr. Wayne Dyer's shift all the time. It brings me back to the heart, and I meditate a lot and find peace in that. I'm a very deeply spiritual man. I work on ethics and I work on metaphors. I find questioning things that are upsetting me. They say it's an opinion. And of course it is. It's that chat GTS. And I said, what about a metaphor? Well, your metaphysical principles. Yeah. And that's the way I think. And the metaphors and the metaphysical principles of like communication are very summed up. We're on a feeling level. So sometimes I don't feel like I'm reaching people. And then I use less words and bang, they got it. Something intuitively got the connection there. Teaching a class on meditation. They ask me and they're seekers. They're always seeking, and seeking is allowing. You know, I could say it's wrong, but I won't. But I say a seeker is allowing. But you can't use too many words. And all of a sudden you say something and you don't know what you said. You hear it. I got it. What is that? What is that connection? You don't even know why you said it. Bang, they got it because they're seeking, and you're just a conduit of the seeking. You're nothing special, nothing more. You know, and you come out with the synchronicity of something and you help somebody that's suffering through depression. Suffering. And I said to Joseph in Alberta, I said, a sensitive young man, gratitudeless. What? Gratitude. He's taking all these antidepressants and everything. I didn't tell him to get off those drugs. He got off. And within 2 weeks, he was writing gratitude and being grateful for things. Greg, he wrote me from Calgary, and I was up in Edmonton. I'm off antidepressants. I'm happy because I started seeking the silver lining of what good in the world. And he got it. And the book was a psychological and neurological study on happiness. And it is to reframe the thinking patterns. And there's a neurological science to it. So it's not anti-psychiatry or anything like that. But it was gratitude's the one big kicker in making things better. So here's why I don't think psychology and the ISM system works. A lot of people use it and they don't do any work on it. The people that pay money for a psychologist might get somewhere. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. And I stayed life coaching because it is a psychology. International life coaching, but there's a lot of people hanging shambles out there. And women are a completely different herd of beings, especially when they're starting to be successful. They have no fiscal conservatism. And it's typical men, too. We are not very fiscally conservative in saving money. And so we have to teach appreciation for what earning we have. And look at money as a different stance. like an energy. It's coming in. And every little dollar you get, I'm grateful for the service I gave that was honest, and I got energy called currency, money, and I feel good for it. I made a good product. I did everything that way. This is a more democratic model. I took a course online from a German economist, and it made sense to me. We are in North America got into a dog eat dog, free market capitalism of being better than the other guy, and that's a fear-based system. You'll never have enough. Meanwhile, your money's flowing. It's just flowing. There's no effort to it. And when you get out of that space, you're out of the troubled space of emotions. And I like listening to CEOs of companies on LinkedIn. He's talking there. He says, it's good to be mad. Well, it's good to have a stop sign that says stop. Because we got to know when to stop. Well, that's when emotions are. But let's say you pick up that stop sign, put it in the car to remind you to stop, and you're stopping, stop. Well, anger is that way. These emotions are indicators, and you turn them off and move ahead because all of a sudden it's an indicator. Turn the indicator light off. You made the turn. Well, that's what these emotions are. So I'm talking in a metaphor again. And being sensitive means you're a Renaissance man, a man of all seasons. You don't have to go out there and be the big shot. The quiet, gentle man who speaks up and says maybe a few words and everybody, whoa, that's not woke. They're not attacking people. They're not scoundrels. They're just gentlemen. And that makes a man powerful. With a few right words, like right speech is important in a man's life. To speak effectively. And I think if you read Dale Carnegie's How to Influence People, you'll find that. And these were really, I know they're old books, guys and ladies and gentlemen. They're old books, but they're still poignant for this time. You know, they were human beings, and the language of communication and treating people with value is godly and acceptable. Being a gentleman, the gentleman's club, not the ego club. And that's the problem with the world right now. There's a lot of ego, especially social media just amplified it with the opioid hit of likes in comparisons to each other. What did Desiderata say? Compare yourself to others and you'll grow vain and bitter. And you do, and that's half the problem with the world right now. And fiscal economics is right out the door. You got to buy more than the other guy. Get a second mortgage. It's nuts. It's just, the problem is what you have is feeling happy that you have it and being secure with it, not worrying about what other people are thinking. If you want something better, enjoy what you have. Know what you want. The list, you put it away for 6 weeks, a high ticket item, and feel if you want that again. See, we got a world that thinks that change your mind, I don't want that. No. Well, you have to have that sort of fallback of it might not be right for you, because we work on impulsive psychology. We're very impulsive. We don't need to be. We need to slow down and really consider what we want. And like I buy musical instruments, and I've been really advising to have a guitar built in New Zealand that's going to be what I need because I met some professional guitarists that are fingerstyle acoustic. And you know what is the best guitar? Handmade to your specifications. My the Alfa Romeo fits the man like the suit, that the Jewish tailor makes your your clothing so suited to your form. It's not to the form of other people, but you look good in it. You're you. Your body shape's a little different. I'm big boned. The tailor can make me look good. Alfa Romeo, I got long legs that fit the car up better. My fingers are big. My guitars are going to be different. It's not that I'm better. It's just I'm built different. And I have different nuances like you do. We don't have to be the same. And that's the problem with normal. I went to a psychologist to get off the streets because my niece dumped me out because I became a Reiki master. And it was such uh, a different thing for her. And they abandoned me because they think it's voodoo. Well, I've done it, and I like doing what I do. But it's not all I do. I play music, and I enjoy my life, and I stay healthy. They don't. They're always taking pills. I'm sorry, I'm not much of the pill society. I've never liked television because it feels like a numbness. I go back to, it's so numbing. And I like music and listening to music. And I meet a lot of young men that don't have YouTube things on their phone. They just have music streams in their iPhone. There's a lot of young men that are getting very sensitive. It's a new awakening on this planet. And young women that don't go on the gackles of women, they go out and they just sit in nature. And they're highly sensitive. Blessed the meek, blessed will they'll inherit the earth. The meek, mild mannered people. I love these people. They're in every walk of life, from policing to nursing to everything. You'll find them in every walk of life. And it's a gift, but it has to be balanced. And you have to learn emotional truths, and that's what I'm getting into. Teaching to how to be an empathic sensitive in a man or a woman and not listen to the world telling you you're wrong. You have feelings about things, you're an environmentalist, you're an animal rights person. Just do it. Don't listen to the naysayers. You know your feelings. You live on a world that's very opinionated. It's very collective. Click. But you're not that. You're special. And you can change the world with your kindness. There's nothing more than that. So I'm just trying to shut off here. Think about that.